Hello and welcome to this presentation. My name is Ruhi Mitra and I am a SRISHTI intern under Dr. Ravi Kiran. My teammate Shrija and I will explain the details of the project that we have been working on and our role in it. Our project is centered on newspaper layout detection. As we know, a newspaper consists of headings, articles, columns, paragraphs, images, advertisements, etc. Our aim is to create a dataset containing annotated images of newspapers with all of these entities labeled and then build a model using that dataset for layout detection. This project's dataset is rather unique and pioneering because it is curated specially for Indian languages. It also includes a hierarchical relationship among the various entities. For example, article is considered as a parent in the hierarchy and its columns are considered as children. Further, columns are considered parents for the paragraphs that are contained within them, and so on. Let's explore the process. This tree contains all the labelable entities of the newspaper along with their hierarchical relationships. Let's look at it more closely. Here, newspaper page has many entities under it. For example, under paper details, we have paper name, icon, region, price, etc. Similarly, under articles, we have heading, byline, summary, column, image, etc. We also included advertisements, classifieds, obituaries, games, puzzles, cartoons, etc. As we have stated, our project required labeling to include hierarchical relationships. Finding image annotation software that catered to this proved to be very difficult as it is not offered as a feature by most labeling tools. After reviewing many annotation tools, we found Labelbox to be the most suitable software. It allows us to define custom relationships, which in our case are parent child and sibling relationships. Every data row, entity, and relationship is assigned a unique ID. One can also index many objects of the same class. For example, columns in an article can be indexed in order. The output can be extracted as an ND-JSON file, easily convertible to a JSON file. Now, let's go over the step by step annotation procedure that we and our colleagues in the annotation lab will follow while creating the dataset. First, we upload the raw data, that is, images of newspaper pages, and create a project in the Labelbox workspace. The data set is then added to the project, grouped into batches of same or different priority if needed. Ontologies in Labelbox refer to a list of classes that are to be labeled along with the annotation boundary shape, that is, polygons, bounding boxes, straight lines, etc. It also contains relationships. One such ontology, either new or existing, is attached to the project. After this, the images are annotated according to a workflow that we design based on our guidelines. Specialized instructions are also provided for edge cases. Shrija will now be taking over and will walk you through the rest of the project. Thank you.
This is Shrija, and I'll be taking over from Ruby. And coming to the next part of the presentation, we'll be continuing with base paper and annotation projects. We found some unique base papers and projects already on this newspaper layout detection, and not no, the granularity of the papers we found was very less. So we think our project is going to be a good one, and we included what we didn't have or what the market has in our project from this uh, part of the project. And coming to the next part, ontology list, classes ontology list, we already have the classes, the tree where everything is shown, like article has children like heading and some column and everything. But we in the label box we could only give a list of things where the objects can be classified into. So we need a precise list of this tree to be given into an ontology. That is what we did here. Like, we created a list of classes from the tree we already had, and we had to represent the hierarchy in the list. In the tree, representing hierarchy is a easy thing, but in a list it is a different difficult thing. So we used underscore and everything, different notations for different things. And in this part we also divided the classes, this list, into what we in based on the frequency of that. So phase one has more frequent things like article and advertisements. Phase two has less frequent things like RNI, cartoon, weather. RNI is a unique ID for each newspaper brand and everything like that. Coming to the next one, workflow. Even if we do have phases here, the most frequent and the less frequent, workflow defines what we want to annotate first and how efficient our annotation will be when we change those processes around. Like start with phase one and phase two. Maybe forget about phase one and phase two and uh, go through it from top to bottom. Depends. We tested different workflows on different people, not us, the ones who do not have as much as grip on the project as we do. We wanted to see how the different workflows seem to a person who has no idea about the project. We took different workflows and we found the best one to be: first, do the phase one list where we have more frequent classes without the paragraph. Phase one also has paragraphs. So we didn't want to include that in the first part of the workflow since doing paragraphs annotation is a little bit difficult since they are very frequent in a newspaper page. So first part, phase one list without annotation, without paragraphs, and phase two, and then finally the paragraphs we left off in the phase one. This will be the final workflow. And after each phase, each part of this, we do the relationships, the parent child relationship and the sibling relationship. And these are the example annotations. These are some of the examples, and each page annotation. These are how the relationships look like. This is a parent-child, and this is a sibling relationship, and everything. And coming to the final part, documentation and future goals. What we did in these 2 months, we wanted to document it, the guidelines for annotation and everything, the documentation of guidelines. Like, oh, there are many edge cases we worked on. Maybe, yeah, edge cases we worked on, and that we wanted to document everything, our meeting results and everything. And the annotation examples were also done, and a video telling all the guidelines for the annotators to do that. In the future, our goal is to get the annotations from the annotators, maybe do some of the annotations ourselves, and then complete the make a small data set where we could use models to detect the layout and the hierarchy between them. Yeah, that's about it. And yeah, thank you for your time.